The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm your host, Andy MacNeil. I'm here on weekdays to provide NHL projections, picks, betting advice, strategies, and more so you can make informed bets on the NHL all season long. And if you've been following along all season long, well, you've been doing pretty good because we had another solid night on Thursday, 4-2, two overtime losses. Could have been a sweep. Got one overtime win, of course, the Vegas Golden Knights getting the job done in overtime against the Boston Bruins. But yeah, pretty solid night on the Puck Portfolio. Man, this hat is way too tight. I need another Oilers hat for today. That was like squeezing my head together a little bit too much. But yeah, anyway, this show is sponsored by NorthStar Bets. Check them out via the link in the description below. You can get down on some great numbers on early NHL odds, the next day's NHL odds, which we'll be focusing on here on today's show. Of course, there's only 2 games on the NHL slate for Friday, but all 32 teams are in action on Saturday. Then we've just got 2 games on Sunday, but a big day of hockey on Saturday. I'm sure the NHL will do a great job with staggered start times, as they always do. I kid, they do not. I mean, they had 9 games going at the same time was it last night or was that Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. They had it was Tuesday. They had 9 games, all starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Which, I mean, why? I've got 3 TVs here, some laptops, etc. But still, I mean, like 9 games all at the same time. Come on, give us a break. Jake, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I agree. I think last night everybody was in the second intermission at the same time, so everybody was forced
Yeah.
to watch the pundits instead of watching hockey, and that's never that's never a good choice.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. Especially, at least there's no, at least Andy MacNeil isn't still on the intermission.
well, maybe it would be a little bit better. Who knows? But not feeling great about the Habs. They've been absolutely listless in the last couple of games. Of course, you called the Sharks dunking on them, and indeed they did. And yeah, they must have had fun in Montreal, like we predicted a few days ago, and kind of got their spirits back up. But yeah, I think we're approaching some dog days for the Habs this year.
Yeah, and it's been dog days for the Ottawa Senators, and they're up next against the San Jose Sharks. Maybe the Sharks can help them hit rock bottom. I don't know if the Senators have hit rock bottom yet, but a loss to the Sharks on home ice would certainly qualify, I think. But yeah, the Sharks getting the job done and snapping that 12 game losing streak. Elsewhere, the Kraken got the job done. Tom Wilson did play Alex Ovechkin. Uh, I can't even. I didn't really watch that game, to be honest. I was not really paying attention to that one. Now I'm misremembering things. I was following along with the news last night. Was it Tom Wilson that played and Alex Ovechkin that did not, or the other way around? Yeah, it's been a long day. If you follow me on Twitter at Digital Gambler, you'll see that it's like minus 40 in Edmonton right now. So it was a fun morning. Um, had to get the remote start going a few times. I had the wife's car running for about an hour this morning before she left to work. Told my son that he could stay home, so luckily I've got Fortnite to babysit for me while I do the show and some other work stuff that I've got to do today. But yeah, Ovechkin did play. It was Tom Wilson that did not. Um, I'm silly here, but yeah. So the Kraken got the job done. Of course, the Penguins. I mean, this game should have went over a lot earlier than it did, but the Penguins scored with about 20 seconds left to tie the game, send it to overtime. They lost to Vancouver 4-3, but we got over 6.5. So that helped out a lot. The Leafs, though, they lost in overtime, and the Red Wings plus 150. They were leading 1-0 with about 10 minutes remaining in the game. Very lucky to be in that position, and they of course couldn't hold on, and the Oilers got the job done in extra time. So 4-2 ninth, 2.07 units worth of profit on Thursday. So hopefully we can parlay that into some profit on Friday and Saturday. So at the tail end of Thursday's show, I mentioned where I had my where the model had the Flyers, and I added a bet on the Flyers at the same price that was available when I talked about it at the end of Thursday's show. A plus 105 half unit bet. Not sure who's going to start in goal. Should have mentioned it off the at the same time on Thursday's show, but the Flyers are in action again on Saturday against Winnipeg in Winnipeg. So not sure who's going to start, but whether it's Samuel Urson or Carter Hart, I like the Flyers here at plus 105 or better. And I do like them against the Winnipeg Jets on Saturday, assuming the current odds are where they were a little bit earlier. So I'm just gonna pull up the updated board here, and NorthStar Bets will be using NorthStar Bets odds on this show. They've got the Flyers available at plus 180, and the model thinks the Flyers should be somewhere in the minus or plus 160s, I believe. Just getting that pulled up as well. So yeah, plus 166. That's what the model thinks a fair price should be for this game. A little bit of guesswork here. Like I said, don't know who's going to start in goal for either team, really. It is a home game. Assume it's going to be Connor Hellebuck. Uh, the Jets, though, I mean, they've been great, right? I mean, and I really like this Winnipeg team. I think they're a great team. They've scored 68% of the goals over the last 15 games, though. Expected goals percentage down around 56%. And you could say, well, okay, Hellebuck, yeah, that's going to help them, exceed the expected goals percentage. But their shooting talent, I mean, like they've got some great players, but Kyle Connor hasn't been in the lineup that whole time, and Mark Scheifele now. I think there's a decent chance that Mark Scheifele might not play on Saturday because he's had a bit of a rough week. He was struck by a puck in the ear earlier this week. And then he had to leave Thursday's game, in the second period due to a lower body injury. He did not return, so not a great sign for his availability going forward in the short term anyway. I just think the Jets, like I said, they're a great team. I just think their expected, their output is closer to their expected goals percentage than their actual goals percentage over the last 15 games. So I think that's, closer to where their true talent is. Philly, they've been struggling, particularly on offense. This play might not make a whole lot sense, given how good the Jets have been defensively, how great their goaltending is. Even Laurent Brossoit has been really good. I'm going to take a shot here, though, and just hope that the Flyers can get the split on this back-to-back against the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets. So I'm going to add a half unit bet at plus 180 on the Flyers to take down the Jets on Saturday. That's going to be my smallest bet of the day on Saturday. And at plus 180, that's kind of where I cut it off for this one because there is so much uncertainty. Scheifele could potentially play here. But yeah, NorthStar Bets plus 180. That's 0.5 units to win 0.9 units. So let's go Flyers on Friday and Saturday. I'm going to get into some other bets here, though. The Vancouver Canucks. NorthStar Bets has what I think is a really great price here on the Canucks. I mean, they're rolling. They win again in Pittsburgh on Thursday. And they've been a top 10 team in expected goals, all situations dating back to the start of November. And, it's fair to say that they might not be able to sustain their shooting and saving numbers. But this team is the real deal. They're consistently great offensively. They're just outside the top 10 in expected goals against. So they help their goaltender out a lot more than you would think based on the public discourse, right? So I think even if Casey DeSmith, the backup goaltender, ends up starting for Vancouver here on Saturday, in Buffalo. I think the Canucks are a good play up to minus 130. I can justify making a bigger bet at the current minus 122 odds at NorthStar Bets. So that's what I'm going to do, minus 122 to win 1 unit on the Vancouver Canucks. Like I said, don't really care who the goaltender is here for Vancouver. I like this play up to minus 130. The model thinks the Canucks should be a minus 141 favorite. So yeah, locking that in to win 1 unit. Tage Thompson, he had to leave on Thursday, but the head coach, Sabres head coach Don Granato, said that he expects him to be just fine. So don't think he's going to be a concern for the Sabres. He should be in the lineup on Saturday. Jeff Skinner is going to be out though for a while, and not sure about Victor Olofsson either. He's out with an illness right now. So Sabres not necessarily at full strength. Could get some hidden value there if Thompson does for some reason end up missing, if he needs that maintenance day. That would be a big plus, obviously, for a bet against the Buffalo Sabres. But yeah, I really like the Canucks here at minus 120. But like I said, all 32 teams, 16 games on Saturday. So it's going to be an awesome day of hockey. Some great games. You got the Senators at the Sharks. That one's just going to be great, just for the simple fact that, hey, if we can see the Sharks take down the Sens, it'll be pretty funny. We've got the Devils, who are pretty banged up right now. No Andre Palat, no Jack Hughes, of course, no Dougie Hamilton, etc. And they're in Florida taking on the Panthers, so that's going to be a tough matchup. Florida getting another win. The LA Kings losing another game in overtime this time. Again, first against the Tampa Bay Lightning, then against the Florida Panthers. The Panthers are man, I think they're the best team in the NHL right now. And they've just been consistently good all season long. They're the best defensive team. They've got great goaltending right now, and their offense is starting to really look as good as it did just even a couple of years ago when they were the best offensive team in hockey. So I think that this team has more offensive chops than they're showing right now, and when they really start to get it going, look out. Hopefully their defense will hold up when that happens, because I think the Panthers, I think there's value. I mean, at this point, the Atlantic Division, I've given everybody ample opportunity to get down on some pretty good numbers. I believe when I was really starting to talk about it a few weeks back, they were like plus 325, then they were down to plus 250. Now they're in the plus 150 range or lower, I think, to win the Atlantic Division. But as late as yesterday, I was on the Action Network. I was talking about the Florida Panthers and their future prospects in the futures market, and I think the President's Trophy, that's something that's obtainable. They've got the best chance according to the Canada Sports Betting projection model that's going to be updated a little bit later today at canadasportsbetting.ca. And they've got the best chance of winning the Stanley Cup right now. The Stanley Cup I saw at 13-1 yesterday. I saw the President's Trophy at 8-1. So some futures bets to consider. Not sure what the prices are today. Yeah. Florida just continuing to roll here. Jake, I did want to ask you. Didn't get a chance to check out Jake's takes yesterday, but everybody can check that out at canadasportsbetting.ca. See what Jake's got for wildcard weekend in the NFL. If it all goes to shit, you come back here on Monday and you clown them in the chat. Right, Jake?
That's right. That's right. You put your takes out. You gotta take it back. You gotta take the harsh criticism back. But yeah, hopefully it goes. Hopefully it goes my way. Hopefully it goes the way of my picks.
You got anything you really like that you want to share on the show today? Like any player props or anything like that stand out as something that you're in love with this weekend?
CeeDee Lamb has been a wide receiver for the Cowboys. He's been kind of a cash cow for us all year. So I'm going with another prop with a thin win margin for the Cowboys this weekend. So CeeDee Lamb with a touchdown and then a 1 to 6 point win margin for the Cowboys is a prop I love this week. And then as far as storylines, the Detroit Lions hosting their first playoff game in over 30 years is a great story. And then, of course, their former franchise quarterback, Matt Stafford, comes now as a bad guy, and they have to defeat sort of their old demons, their old ghosts to savor playoff success for the first time in a really long time. I got a preview of that game coming up on Kansas Sports Betting a little bit later today or possibly tomorrow.
Nice.
But yeah, awesome storylines this weekend. So please check out Jake's takes and our other NFL coverage on the site this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I always wanted to go to Vegas for Wild Card Weekend. I thought it would be the best one to go. I've been to Vegas for the Super Bowl, which was really fun, but it's just the one game, so um, kind of a wasted opportunity. But yeah, that was the year that the Pats came back against the Falcons, so it wasn't a bad one to go to Vegas for because that was certainly entertaining.
Oh yeah, I
Although as a
want to that.
Pats
That reminds me, I wanted to get your take on Belichick leaving the Patriots as a maybe not so much a fan anymore, but certainly a fan during his glory years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's definitely, makes you feel old, I guess, to see, Brady long gone now and Belichick moving on and but, probably for the best, right? This season was pretty sad. I didn't watch much football, but even just checking the box scores and seeing those scores and just how how they just really didn't have a chance most weeks. So it was it was probably time. Why stick around, right?
Yeah, it was rough, and you could kind of see the mutual parting of ways coming up for a long time. It'll be interesting to see what he
I am
does,
ex-
whether
I'm
he
excited for
retires.
the I think it's on going to be on Apple in February, the Dynasty documentary, like the Belichick Brady thing. That looks awesome. I'm excited to watch that. That's going to be really good, must see TV, I think.
For sure, for sure. It was maybe not during my formative years as an NFL fan, but certainly right in the meaty parts of it, and um, I ended up being, a huge fan of Peyton Manning and the Colts, and of course Brady and Belichick haunted the Colts for many many years. So I don't have the greatest memories of that era, but certainly documentary worthy. It was quite a period of success.
Yeah. And there's one other play that I really, really like for Saturday as far as the early odds go. I'm just kind of having a look here. Um, I was kind of hoping for maybe a buy low spot on the Los Angeles Kings, but the Red Wings have just been playing so poorly that it's not going to happen here. I think that line is right. Um, and kind of I was looking even after their loss against the Isles, and costing me a half a unit, a little over a half unit. I was still, hoping that the Maple Leafs maybe would come out posted at a shorter price. But minus 118 at NorthStar Bets, a little too close to where I think or the model thinks they should be. So no play there. Um, but the Arizona Coyotes is one that stands out here. So I mean, Minnesota, they've been really injured. Uh, that's part of the reason, a big reason why I'd like to play the Flyers, or I am playing the Flyers here at plus 105, half unit play on Friday. But Kirill Kaprizov, Philip Gustafson, goaltender, Jared Spurgeon, and Jonas Brodin, who has been skating for the last week, but he hasn't played since December 8th. All of those four players still out. Their status is up in the air. I don't think the first three that I mentioned, Kaprizov, Gustafson, or Spurgeon, are going to play this weekend because I believe they're not eligible. They're on IR, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I don't think the Wild are going to necessarily get any injured or outside of Brodeen. They're probably not going to get any of their injured players back in the lineup this weekend. So I think statistically, even at full strength, the Coyotes and the Wild, they're pretty comparable teams. I think they are kind of not carbon copies of each other, but in a lot of ways, if you kind of took the names away and just looked at these teams statistically, you'd say they're very, very similar. And I think when you factor in the fact that Minnesota is playing on the second half of a back-to-back here on Saturday after playing against the Wild, of course, they don't have to travel. but still going to be playing tired. And the Arizona Coyotes are not injured. I think when you factor those two things in, the Coyotes, should not be priced at plus 123. This one is a 50-50 game, if you ask me. So 1 unit bet to win 1.23 units on the Arizona Coyotes. So I'm fading the Wild on Friday and Saturday. Do it one last two last times, I guess, before they probably get some of their good NHL players back. But yeah, I mean, I like this one all the way down to plus 110. I'm getting plus 123 at NorthStar Bets. Gotta love it. So check them out via the link in the description below. Um, yeah, this is I'm really happy with both of those plays. Getting not a lot. Obviously, it's there's 16 games. Hopefully, I'll find some totals here. Totals just starting to kind of populate here, but I think I'm going to revisit those later and put something out later. Actually, I'm just going to have a little scan here because I do want to see if anything stands out. I don't think who's offering them right now. NorthStar does not have totals. Very, very obscure books. No, we'll save it for later. That'll give me something to revisit a little bit later in the day, because there are so many games. I'm just going to stick with the 3 money line bets for Saturday to start. Of course, it's all about getting down on good early numbers. We can make some more bets later, like we did on Thursday's show. Got down on 3 small bets that I liked on Wednesday's show for Thursday's games. Added 3 more on Thursday for a total of 6 bets. So it happens. And I think with the totals here, with there being 16 games, there's going to be something that I like for sure. So just the 3 bets right now. Heading into Saturday, 1 bet for Friday. That's the Philadelphia Flyers on the money line plus 105 to beat the Minnesota Wild. That's a half unit bet. Then there's another half unit on Saturday on the Flyers at plus 180 to beat the Winnipeg Jets. So fading or backing the Flyers in their back to back here, and fading the Wild because I'm betting against them on Friday and again on Saturday because I bet the Arizona Coyotes 1 unit to win 1.23 units plus 123 at NorthStar Bets. And then finally, the Vancouver Canucks on the money line minus 122 to win 1 unit to beat the Buffalo Sabres. So yeah, that's about it. Anything in the chat that I should have a look at before we close this thing up, Jake?
No, Connor was saying that he's heading to Vegas East, Atlantic City for Wild Card Weekend. So have fun over there, Connor. He was saying he was in 3rd grade when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. He's 30 now, so for most of his life, the Patriots have had wild success.
3rd grade. Yeah, I mean I was in 30. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was like 2001, right? I think
That sounds right. Yeah, but I'm horrible with dates.
2001 was the when they beat the Rams. Yeah. Yeah, so I would have been in junior high. God, I'm old.
Yeah, I remember. I was watching the game that Tom Brady came in relief of Drew Bledsoe, way back when
Mhm.
Pete Carroll, a young Pete Carroll, who was probably about 50 years old back then, was still coaching the Patriots. He, who also is no longer coaching in Seattle. So both of those men somehow, all 3 of those men, Belichick, Tom Brady, Pete Carroll, all kind of exiting stage right recently.
Yeah, definitely played a part. I won't forget those names because I mean, between all of Belichick's accomplishments, between Carroll, just even just for the simple fact that they were in that Super Bowl with the Patriots and how the memorable ending and how everything ended that in that Super Bowl. Um, on that Super Bowl stands like it's funny. Super Bowls are funny, man. Like I can remember where I was for like most of the Super Bowls. Like I remember um when when the Giants when they made when David Tyree made the catch on his head. Like I remember what party I was at and just the vibe and everything. Um because there was a lot of people there that wanted to see the Patriots lose. I remember, though, I think that was it was 2015 or 2014. I think it was January 2015 or February 2015 when the Patriots played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I was thrown out of a bar uh, pretty much as the final whistle blew on that game. The bouncers literally threw me out, broke my wrist. So yeah, that one's memorable. Lots of memorable Super Bowl memories.
Your
But
wrist was breaking just as Pete Carroll's play calling was breaking the hearts of Seattle Seahawks fans around the world.
yeah, I might be small in stature, but you say something to my woman when I've got some liquor in me, look out, right? Uh, um, I uh, I actually, yeah, the way I broke my wrist is that I did not want to get thrown out of the bar. I was willing to leave on my own power, but they wanted to like physically throw me out, these two big guys. And I was holding onto the door frames like this and just like would not let go. And then one of them just started like punching my wrist as hard as he could and just snapped it. So that was awesome. Spent 4 months in a cast after that one too. Yep. But yeah. Anyway, big day of hockey tomorrow. Wish there was more picks to talk about, but I think I'm going to come back with some more picks, maybe just a short video or whatnot when some other sports books open up. Of course, we get great early odds at NorthStar Bets, but you don't know what will become available to you. As we saw yesterday, we ended up getting a great price on the Red Wings in a losing effort, of course, but got some really good bets down. You can get some good bets down after things move around a little bit, but yeah. If you haven't already, please like the video. Helps out a ton. Please subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. Picks have been hot in January. 14-7 in 2024. 16 of those bets have been plus money bets. So we bet mostly underdogs here on the show. That's been the case all season long. Let's go. We were doing good and we're doing great. And hopefully this month keeps heating up because it's cold as hell here in Edmonton. The picks got to stay hot. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys over the weekend. Lots of hockey to watch and get to. And I'm going to check in on either on Twitter or here on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. I'll see you on Monday, if not over the weekend. So good luck with your bets this weekend and take care.